Welcome back to Sub Week. It is Trinity Productions, TrinityProSound.com, and we are closing out Sub Week here with a beast of a subwoofer. So this is, let me get the paperwork. This is an FBT single 18. It is in their Horizon line. It is a VHA 118.2SA. This thing is just absolutely insane for a single 18. This thing sports 2,500 watts RMS in a DSP controlled amplifier. 2,500 watts in one single 18. So it is a active bass reflex type, RMS watts 2,500, peak 5,000, frequency response 30 hertz, preset dependent. It is 18-inch driver, 4-inch voice coil, 137 dB max SPL, peak SPL 143 dB half space, omnidirectional dispersion, input impedance 22K ohms, AC power requirement 650 watts. It just amazes me with some of these newer amplifiers of the power requirements versus what you get out the other end of this thing. So weight-wise though, it's a beast. It's 165 pounds. As far as dimensions, it is, no, I take that back, 134 pounds, transport weight 165. But dimensions are 24 by 28 by 28. So, but this thing is, I mean, it's huge for a single 18. And you'll soon to find out why. But let's see, specs-wise, let's see if there's anything else we have forgot. It does have TrueCon power input on it. There is no off and on switch, so this is a pro unit. Once you plug that sucker in, it is on and running. Made out of 3/4 inch birch plywood, and we'll get into that as well. Main applications that FBT says is touring and sound reinforcement, which is certainly true. Theaters, stadiums, concert halls, arenas. Ideal for both live applications. This is assisted by one or both subs of the Horizon VHA range. It's got 6 handles on it. So they've done a pretty stinking good job with this thing. It's got handle here on the top and then 2 handles, well, kind of stuck rolling over cords. 2 handles on each side. It does have feet on the bottom of it here, depending on the orientation of how you want to do it. It's got an M20 up here, and I think we've got, if we spin it back around, we've got an M20 up here as well. So depending on how you're going to set the sub up and utilize it, it's got the ability to do a pole mount in kind of both directions as far as the sub is concerned. On the back side, as we continue to rotate this puppy. So on the back side, we've got the amplifier assembly. It does have some venting on it. There may be a fan inside of it. I don't know. We're going to find that out. But it has TrueCon in, out, and then just XLR in and out. It does have network ports on it, so where it can be network controlled as well. And then it's got the selector rotary here that has the DSP settings on it. But it is run, I think, by what they call their Infinito software to be able to do all of the control and everything on it. But it does have Allen bolts in it that they plugged in here where the wheels would mount, so that you get the wheel kit, it'll come with the bolts and everything to be able to put wheels on the back bottom end of it, and so it can be ended up. There is transport covers available for it. As far as accessories are concerned, let's get into, I think there was one. Yeah, so there's a metal base that can go with it, trolley wheels, fly bar, so you can end up possibly flying this, but I'm going to have to find out if that's even a possibility because I don't see any fly hardware on it. Wheel kit with it, and then it does have nylon covers that go with it as well. So, but for a single 18 with 2,500 watts RMS of power, insane, absolutely insane. We'll look at the driver on this thing as well, but with the ability to put out, what was it, 143, yeah, max SPO, peak. Continuous is 137, but peak is 143. To be able to put out that kind of SPL out of a single sub, pretty stinking amazing. So we'll get this thing turned around here. We've already done a little bit of work on it where we've gotten the grill loosened up. It is held on by Phillips machine screws that go into the grill, and then there is rubber spacers around. There is 4 on this side, attach points, 4 on this side, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, so that when that thing gets screwed down, those rubber spacers end up providing a basically an isolation of the grill, but it also pulls the thing tight, so you're not going to ever get any rattling out of the grill on this thing, period. I mean, just, they've really done good. And the grill, get the papers out of the way there, the grill on this thing is pretty beefy. So let's go ahead. I've already got all the screws out, save us a little bit of time, but I'm going to go ahead and coax this grill out a little bit here and show you exactly what I am talking about. So this grill has got to be, I'm going to say it's 14 gauge. It's beef. I mean, it, out of any sub that I have taken apart, or speaker for that matter, this has got to be the most robust grill that I have seen. So as we get into there, you can see the nylon mesh on it being held into place, but the thickness of this grill weight-wise, 4 to 5 pounds probably. FBT logo on the front of it, but this is the little isolation rubber units there that they have put on it, and you can kind of see there what they've done, but they've got 3 top and bottom and then 4 down each side, and that grill is not going anywhere. So now we get into the driver and the cabinet itself. And so on the face here, there's a little rubber bumper here down right above the ports for the grill, so that it, you know, adds some strength to the grill assembly. But I played with this thing a little bit earlier today, and before we got into the video, and I was really quite amazed with the low-end capability of it. That much power in a single 18. One of the other subs that we've sold a lot of, I haven't had a chance to do a review on yet, but is the RCF 8004 single 18 sub. That one is 1,250 watts RMS. And so getting into 2,500 watts RMS, gosh, that's a lot of get up and go for a single. But we'll go ahead, once we get the driver removed, look at it. One of the things that I want to go through is also the DSP on this thing, because there are just so many options of DSP on this thing to be able to set it up and do cardioid subs and different kinds of scenarios, frequency responses for the subs, roll off and things like that, with the DSP on it, that is just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So those are out, one more to go. One up at the top. Who would have known? Kind of like when we first pulled apart a RCF HDL20, that, or was it a T4 or T8? I mean, the screws for that were hidden so much that we still have people emailing us saying thank you for doing that, because I would have never been able to figure out how to get all that out and be able to open up the cabinet. So here we go. I'm going to rotate this thing just a little bit here so that we can get the spade lugs off. And again, there's little push pins on these guys so that you can yank them. Holy smokes. So it is color coded. This is a cast frame with a ceramic magnet on the thing. It does weigh quite a bit. So I'm going to say probably 35 pounds, maybe a little bit more. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing up here. So big vent down the center of it. Very large magnet assembly, but 4-inch voice coil. The cast frame on it is one of the nicer cast frame speakers that I have seen in quite some time. But reinforced cone, it's got some goop, spray goop or something on the back of it to reinforce it, as well as on the front. Standard surround on the thing, but gosh, just massive. And that's how I'm sure they're getting the output out of this cabinet that they are. So gasketed right here in the front, all the way around. And then on the inside, you can end up seeing what they've done in there, and they've got kind of like eggshell foam that they have put inside, that if we go in there and we're ended up, talking, test 1, 2, 3, that you get inside here and it really makes a big difference in stopping the resonance. I mean, you can end up beating on this thing and it doesn't resonate like just an empty wood box. But off the amplifier, just, single coil. We do have looks like possibly, we'll have to look, possibly an infrared port here off the front, or let's see if it's a power light. Nope, that may be something to do with infrared. So we'll double check that and put that down here in the bottom somewhere of what this particular component is in the cabinet, but it's just a pair of wires coming out of the amplifier cabinet itself. But very solid construction. You can see the layering here on the cabinet itself. What we can do is we'll get in there with the iPhone video so you can kind of see with the porting and then all of the kind of egg crate foam that they've put around this thing on the inside. And then those are the brackets and T-nuts for the feet, not the feet, the wheels that go on the inside of it. But very solid construction. One of the things that they have done, depending on the orientation, is they've provided these cutouts in this orientation as well as up here, and I think that's about it. But depending on how you're going to set the cabinets up, if you want to put one on top of this, they will interlock so that you won't have to worry about them kind of scooting off and vibrating and everything. And being able to stack them without having to worry about, you know, things scooting off when levels get, you know, loud, so to speak. But lots of handles on it. That's one thing that I do appreciate, so that depending on how you're going to orient this, people picking it up, that, you know, you've got a handle on each side, but you've got two handles on, you know, this side of it, so that it gives you a lot of opportunity and lift points to be able to pick this puppy up and manipulate it and get it positioned where you need to. But at, you know, 130 something pounds, it's a two-person lift. So most people aren't going to be able to do that on their own unless they are Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. So, but that's really it for the cabinet and for the driver of this puppy. All of the magic for that, though, between the driver and the amplifier. So they've, you know, they've done their homework, tuned the cabinet to the driver, but what we're going to end up doing, we'll go ahead and get the driver back in, and then we'll start looking at some of the DSP capabilities on this thing. It's pretty extensive. It's got delay in it. It's got setups for cardioid subs, frequency response cutoffs, low pass filters. I mean, pretty stinking amazing what you can be able to dial in. And with the software tied into this thing, their Infinito software, I think is what it is, you'll be able to do that all remotely off of a laptop. So we're going to go ahead and get the driver back in, get this thing buttoned up. We're going to leave the grill off to do our tests so we can look at the cone, see what excursion looks like and things like that on it as well. But that is it. The FBT HORIZON VHA-118.2SA. So, but gosh, this driver is just humongous. A few hours later.
20 minutes later.
Okay, so we got the thread cert back in, and so the woofer is very secure in the cabinet. Left the grill off, had to pull a couple of handles back off to be able to get into it, but we got it up and running. So spectrograph is up and running, RTA is up and running. We're zoomed in on that here. We do have it hooked up to the sub. We are set at 0 dB input level. So it'll go up to +6, but we've got it at 0. So we've got the volume turned down. We'll go ahead and hit our generator toggle here, and we're going to do pink noise, and now we are generating. Pretty beefy. You can see the frequency here, and you can see the SPL levels. You can see the cone, maybe 1/8 pink noise. Pretty stinking amazing. So we're going to go ahead and get into sine wave. I can feel it. Goodness. But you're seeing that thing pick up with a good solid around 31. And then rolling off as far as all the energy right at about 100 with the white level on it. But look at the SPL. I mean, I don't even have the thing turned up much. 117. Yeah, so goodness. I mean, it's kind of shaking the building. I don't know if I want to give it any more volume. Let's see. That was 120. Let's see what it's doing as far as cone excursion. It's doing what it needs to do, but it's not snapping the cone. It's not overdriving it or anything. 122. So that's 122 dB, about 6 feet out with the reference mic that we've got here. And right on axis, right in line with the driver itself. But really good low frequency response. Goodness. I think that kind of shows you what the sub can do with the frequency response. Get all the paperwork here that they were talking about going down to 30 hertz. This is true, it does that. We saw that on the spectrograph and also the RTA. But I think what we'll end up doing is, let's see what some of the presets are doing. And we'll end up doing this on some iPhone video. So this is the DSP. We've got it set so that you can go up 6 dB and then also, down. But we'll go ahead back up to 0. So now we've got configuration presets, and you can go ahead in and select that it is depending on cabinets that you're pairing it with. Cardioid, full range, cardioid and full range. So paired with the VHA-112. Sound presets, original, punch, and deep, and infra. So I've got it set on infra now. Let's see what kind of frequency response we get. Come back around to the front, make sure we've got the volume level. We're going to do a sweep. So a little bit lower than 30, but lots of stinking low end. Goodness, it's shaking the building. But still cutting off at 100 with the spectrograph. So let's go ahead and there we go. So now we're going to get it out of infra. Deep mode. Let's go ahead and do deep as well. and the display ends up shutting off rather quickly, which is kind of cool. So now we're on deep mode. We'll do a sweep. Not seeing too much difference between infra and deep, but I guess in playing music, that could be a possibility. Doing the sweeps, I'm not seeing much. So now we'll go sound presets. That would be punch. There's original, phase state, inverted, so 180 or normal, delay, end up values in meters, input source, Dante. So this thing will do Dante. This is stinking amazing. So you're either analog or Dante on it, which is pretty stinking cool. Out routing. Just a single option of analog. Noise gate, so that you can end up setting a noise gate on it so that if there's nothing coming through, you're not going to get any kind of amplifier hiss or anything like that through it. Auto standby, that's one of the things. We had left this thing plugged in, and the amplifier wasn't even getting warm. So you can end up setting this in auto standby to go from the off state to 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 80, 180 minutes, so that if there's no signal present on the input, this thing will end up setting down. So you can do IP mode, auto, probably DHCP on the thing as well. Manual, so auto would be DHCP. Then you can go in and set manual IP addressing on it as well. And then you can go in and set what the Dante is. And it looks like we're just set for, I don't see any changes options in that. Then you've got sensors for amp temperature, the load, air temperature, fan percentage. So there is a fan on it. And then you can do some testing on it. You can put some signals on it, volume levels, everything, so that a lot of capabilities. Display off, timeout, so that can be set 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 120 seconds. Rotation angle. That's interesting. I'll have to see what that's all about. And then factory reset. So that's what we're going to do. Select yes. And we're back to factory reset. One of the things that we don't want to forget about before we move on is the amplifier in this that does kind of all the magic. So what we're going to do is get this puppy turned around here and pull that amplifier and kind of take a look at what we've got here as far as a 2500 watt RMS amp. So we'll get the screws out of this thing real quick. Again, machine screws. This just happens to be one of the products in the series of the Horizon line. So they do make additional subwoofers and then also a line array that is all network controlled by the Infinito software that you can run on a Windows machine only. That is all out, all the way around. Let's see if we can coax this puppy to come out. There we go. We just want to do this so we're not kind of horking up the, we'll get the little light unplug that goes out to the front here. That's out. So that is our amplifier. Goodness. So we've got quite a few coils on the input side of this thing. I'm going to go ahead and you're going to absolutely love this, what I just saw on the amplifier. So we'll go ahead and get these guys pulled apart. Sneaky little guys, but this is something that you stinking know you're getting something good. So take a look at that. Hopefully take a look at that. That's what we're looking at. Look who makes that amplifier. Powersoft. So you know you're getting something pretty stinking good and pretty solid. So it does have a fan on it to keep it cool. I imagine because of the amount of power that this thing is producing. But man, it is just insane. So there is, I don't know if this has the Dante built into it or not. I'm assuming that it does. It does talk about in their manuals that there is an additional Dante card that can be outfitted on these. I don't know, and I cannot tell from looking at this of whether or not the Dante is fitted. There's another spot for a ribbon cable on here, so it may very well be that there is an optional Dante card to go along with this. But total weight of the amplifier, probably about 14, 15 pounds at the most. But it all surface mount technology. The heat sink on this thing is just massive. So you can see there all of the veins, so to speak, cooling veins of the heat sink on this thing. And then the fan is pulling air from one end to the other on it. But that is the makeup of everything and really kind of what makes this thing fly and what makes it go as far as the power is concerned. But Powersoft, goodness, has been a amplifier manufacturer, formidable amplifier manufacturer throughout the years, especially for manufacturers such as FBT. I think RCF used to use some Powersoft in their TT line, and I don't know if that changed or what, but they were pretty much the go-to people when powered speakers came out, because they had the amplifier and the technology and everything to get something that was lightweight, compact, yet had a substantial amount of power to send to the speakers. So we're going to go ahead and get this puppy back in, and then we will continue on with the demo portion of the RTA and spectrograph, and then get into the music and everything that we are going to do. So I'll go ahead and get this puppy back together. But within the inside of this whole area is sealed as far as the enclosure is concerned, as you can see in here, so that there's no air leaks or gaps or anything that you have to worry about. They've got it sealed here, they've got it sealed here, so they've done a really good job with it. So we're going to go ahead and get this puppy back in. Very solid amplifier though. I am just happy as can be to see a Powersoft amplifier in this thing. Especially being DSP controlled and everything, like we're going to show you with the software. Pretty amazing what the Infinito software can do with an entire rig and the monitoring and the tweaking and everything that it allows you to do. And it all does it just with network addressing, so that you don't need a separate control box or anything like some of the others where it converts it from quasi kind of Ethernet down into RS-485. So that's the amp. So just a huge suite of DSP capabilities, and then once you get into running the software over the, it's probably RS-485 off the Ethernet ports, or jacks, or J45s on that, you're going to end up seeing a ton more capabilities. We'll take a look at that and see what their software looks like, and end up maybe doing just a short insert segment in here somewhere on what the software capabilities of this puppy is. So with that said, what we're going to do is we've got the iPod here. We're going to end up playing our standard YouTube music. We will also do some things like we did in our last video with the turbo sound. We'll put a link below and post that up on Dropbox, where we're going to end up doing some things that you would recognize. And that's not at 44 kilohertz sampling or below. Of MP3 files that were downloaded from YouTube, so we don't get a strike. So we'll do that, put the description down here. Maybe we'll do a little bit more. We'll get the Zoom recorder set up and get that going. We'll make sure that it's somewhat limited so we don't overdrive it. But we'll go ahead and get the music going next, and here we go. So we do have a limiter on it, and also it's a limiter for concert levels, and then auto level is on the Zoom recorder as well, and hopefully we won't get a lot of distortion as we drive this thing pretty hard. So we'll be able to see frequency here and dB levels here, and we'll go ahead and get going. I've got to get a new cord or something. We do have the PreSonus studio monitor up there. All this high content. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch excursion on the cone itself at this level. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into punch mode, playing this song. I'm not sure you're going to be able to really tell, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Okay, we are in punch mode now. Now we're going to go ahead and put it into infra mode. Now we're in infra. Quite a bit of air. But there is quite a bit more low end in, hard to see, but to hear and feel, there is quite a bit more low end down, I'd say from probably 50 hertz on down, that it just is accentuated. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put it back into original mode as it would default ship with. So now we're back to original. If you want to, at this time, and we'll be back to complete out the video, but at this time, if you want to click the link below, this is where you'll pick up what we're going to do now with some of the artists that we typically run through the subs in our sound system when we do tests. So click that link and we'll be right back into the review. Really good, solid low end, goodness, and with the power behind this thing. 1, 2, 4, absolutely amazing. We're going to go ahead and scoot this puppy back now. But that is it. The Horizon VHA-118.2, so it's second generation, SA subactive. And gosh, you know, it's like we'll put the MSRP down here somewhere in the bottom of it. This is not a cheap sub. And the price point that you're going to see on this is going to reflect that with the MSRP. But if you're interested in these, give us a shout out, email us. We'll quote you on these and really give you a killer deal on these things. So absolutely amazing. We've had some of the FBT subline speakers, and I think I've mentioned in one of the other videos, it was a dual 18, and I think it was only 1,200 watts total, but you would think that it was way more than that. However, they ended up tuning that and the drivers and everything in it. Phenomenal job for a double 18, and fairly easy to transport and set up with just one person, me. So that is the Horizon, and if you have any questions, you can email us, info@trinityprosound.com. Check us out on the web, www.trinityprosound.com, and always call us, 209-832-8023. And again, I'll extend the invitation if you're ever in the Midwest, around the Springfield, Missouri area, give us a buzz. Love to have you stop by. You can listen to some of this stuff. This got shot into us on a demo, and it's making its way around the country, and so it's going to be leaving. But gosh, what a sweet sounding single 18 subwoofer. So thanks for hanging in there. Down here, you can end up in the description picking up the Dropbox link to be able to look at the video when this thing is playing tracks that we ended up doing with known artists. And you can really, at least at that point, tell and hear how this sub really is, you know, performing. So again, thank you for watching. Thanks for spending the time here, and that rounds out our subwoofer reviews for Sub Week. And if you have any questions, like I said, get a hold of us. Thank you for watching. Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com.